Excuse me. ah, ah. Anyway, the thing I wanted to talk about today. Yeah. So, hear me out. Your brain is a forest. It's a beautiful forest. It's gorgeous in there. Let me tell you. The thing is, your forest, when you were a baby, you can't be expected to navigate a forest by yourself. Like, a baby isn't gonna do that very well. So, adults are the people, are the influences. They've been guiding you through that forest since birth. And this is your forest, so they can't really see very well. Like, they have an idea, a direction to head in. But they don't know where they're going. They don't know what it's like in there. They just kind of been pulling you along. They know you need to get through this forest, okay? So, during that time, they'll pull you along these paths. Some of them are just fine. Some of them are beautiful paths that you would have, taken anyway. But a lot of the time, these paths are not where you've been wanting, not where you truly want to be, where you want to go. And they've been pulling you along these paths for so long that there are, established trails. And, at a certain point, you gotta be like, you know what? I don't like some of these trails. These trails, I've been along all of these trails. I know where they lead. Some of them aren't that great. Some of them really fucking suck and aren't doing me any good. So, you kind of got to decide to stop taking those paths. And that's hard to do because, you got to create your own paths. And, if you imagine water flowing, kind of going to take the path of least resistance, which is usually going to be along those trails that other people have forged through your forest. So, you got to decide, you have an idea of what this forest is like now, you've got a light, you've unfogged enough of the map where you're like, I think I can try and figure this out on my own. This is my forest. And I don't like all these paths. Some of these paths suck. So, you find a direction you want to head in. You're like, that looks pretty over there. That's beautiful over there. It's like the promised land over there. I'm gonna start heading in that direction. And there are no paths in that direction yet. You gotta bushwhack. You gotta get the machete out. You gotta trample through some brambles. You gotta make the path yourself. And, you gotta tread on that path. You gotta commit to it. But eventually, you tread along that path long enough where it becomes a nice trail. A trail you're proud of. And the piece of shit trails that other people have trodden through your beautiful forest will be reclaimed by your forest. Like, the dirt will fill in, bushes and trees will grow there, animals, whatever. It's your forest. And eventually you're like, you don't even notice that forest is there. Like, your brain stops even looking in that direction. And this is neuroplasticity. Those are your neural pathways that I'm talking about. But it's a forest. I like forests, so that's what I'm going with. Yeah. So, you know, it's not easy at first. You gotta decide not to take the easy path, that piece of shit path. You know what? You know what's at the end of that path? It goes in a big circle. Somebody pulled you around in a circle, and now that's just the way. Your brain's like, that's the way. That's the way. That's the way. But you gotta be like, no, I'm an adult. I know better. I've been down there. It sucks. I'm gonna go this other way. And it's gonna be hard at first, but if I do it enough, then I'm gonna have a really nice trail going where I wanna go. It's really pretty over there. I saw it. So, yeah. You need to not take the easy way. Now, I feel like this is just going back to one of my other videos, but you gotta decide to bushwhack to get where you want to go. Okay? And this kind of feeds into this idea that I have. I call it the spiral. It's your thought process. So like my spiral used to be something like, you know, I don't have enough money. I hate this job. I can't leave this job or I'm gonna lose, or I can't live here. And if I can't live here, then you know, where the fuck am I gonna live? Might as well just die. Might as well lay down in the forest and die. And that ain't right. So, spiral, you know, it's like your brain will always take the same path. And you'll always end up in the same place, which is just feeling shitty and helpless. So you gotta be like, I'm sick of this shit. When you're in the spiral, you need to have awareness about it. Like you can't, you're not gonna be able to, you know, realize you're in the spiral at the very beginning. Eventually you'll work your way back and realize where the spiral starts, and then you can be like, oh, I know where that goes. It's the start of the trail that I don't want to go down. And you stop yourself. You're like, my brain sick of going in the same circles over and over again. So gotta figure out your spiral. Stop that shit. Change direction. You know, I definitely recommend gratitude. Just like start a journal. It's like every day, write down 3 things you're thankful for. It's like, thank God I got a place to live. It doesn't have to be God, you know, whatever you're into. Just like, thank God that this exists. Thank the cosmos, this exists. Thank, you know, 3 things you're thankful for every day. You can do affirmations. I don't know if that works for everybody, but yeah, focus on your strengths. Write down 3 things that you like about yourself. Write down 3 things that you know other people like about you. And just keep on it. Keep walking that path. If you realize you're going down a spiral path, be like, nope, I gotta sit down and I gotta, you know, I gotta focus on the path I want to be on. And eventually you'll have your nice trail and it'll go where you want. And you won't feel bad. I mean, you can probably still feel bad some of the time, but that won't be your fucking life. And I think that's pretty cool. So, yeah. I don't know. I feel like there was another thing. I don't know. Don't live in a state of being triggered. Like, you can feel it in your body. The spiral, you'll know you're in the spiral because you feel like shit. So have like bodily awareness. And yeah, Get to know yourself. Explore your forest. It's gorgeous in there. I guarantee it. You've only, you know, if you're sad all the time, you've probably only been dragged along to the ugliest places in your forest. I'm not saying that, like, yeah, I don't know. You don't have an ugly forest. You just haven't seen the parts of it that are beautiful. And you gotta take it on yourself to find those places. So, yeah. I believe in you. And don't let anybody tell you where to go in your forest. That's your forest. Okay? You are the explorer. You are the master of your world, your forest. Anyway. What? Do it for your own good. Be good and be good at it.